Okay, this is the May 30th meeting of the Carver Board of Directors of the COA. We have a quorum because we have our two alternates here, because Helen, Elaine, and Donna are not here, but where we have 5 of us because of our alternates, we can go ahead and go through with the meeting. First, could we please stand for a pledge of allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. As I said, this is the Board of Directors of the COA meeting being recorded by Area 58 Community Access Media, Channel 15, and it'll be posted by Area 58 on YouTube as soon as possible. Public comments, any? Seeing we're really loaded with the public here today. All right, for the regular board members, I do have the town discriminatory harassment policy created March 2024. Can you go ahead and get copies to Elaine, Helen, and Donna, or? I can do that. So I'll leave those out for you. Next item, Mary, update on the spring tea.
We're up and running for tomorrow. Yep.
That's great.
Food's ordered, everything. I was there today, setting everything up.
And I am sorry that I will not be able to attend, but like I was saying, I do have a doctor's appointment in Weymouth at 11:30, so it's going to be awful hard for me to be at the COA at 11:15, unless I was Star Trek and we could teleport back and forth.
They do clone people now.
You believe me, nobody in this town wants me to be cloned. All right, I did get the message from Elaine on the Carver night out, and she has reached out with an email to the chief, Officer Kelly, and we're all set to participate in this year's Carver Night Out on August 8th, and we will finalize our plans on what we're going to do at our June meeting, which will be, pulling out the calendar, looks like June 27th will be our meeting, so we'll have it. That'll give us a week to finalize everything, get ready for that. Can't do a spaghetti update, dinner update, because Donna's not here. Three of our regular board members do apologize for not being here, but 2 are tied up with work and 1's tied up with her husband. So that being the case, we are going to postpone the discussion of the development of COA core values until our June meeting, because without a full board, at least most of the board here. So that brings us very quickly to the director's report.
Hooray. Okay. Just an update of statistics for the month of May. The GATRA trips were at 675, which is a little lower than some previous months, but the trend has been on an upward motion on most of the rides, so we do expect that to continue. The congregate meals for May in-house were 239, and the meals on the move, the home delivered meals, were 884 for a total of 1,123. This is making note of the fact that due to the kitchen appliance installation, we had no meal service on the 7th and 8th of May. So that meant that this does, we were without statistics for lunch because we had no service on those days. So this is 2 less days. In a notation, there was a bingo cancellation last week which is a substantial number of lunches that are served on bingo days. So I think our congregate meals are still at a pretty high number considering those differences. The daily attendance, I do have the printout attached for you to my senior center, and a similar situation with the daily attendance is a little lower. It's at 38 on average per day, 38 seniors at the COA, and that would be a little less because we had less attendance on those other days that I mentioned. But it does indicate that 109 individual different seniors attended during the month. The senior registrations are up to 462 for my senior center, and the newsletters, 802 were physically mailed. They just went out, so they'll be hopefully arriving by Saturday. 694 were emailed, and 350 were distributed throughout Carver. I also attached the my senior center report regarding the average daily attendance. It gives the by weekday, so you get a sense of the pattern. Mondays and Fridays tend to be the lighter days, although we will have quite a few. Tomorrow we had 49 registrations for the tea for tomorrow. So
Very good.
this May statistic is not actually even including that. So our numbers are even greater because tomorrow is a big day. And so we have that reference. And then the second statistics that I attached on the back, it was kind of a screenshot, so it's kind of blurry, but it was actually from Facebook, and I haven't really provided those statistics in the past, but I thought it was interesting to make note of the fact that we have 769 followers on Facebook, and it gives you, what I liked was the chart that shows the breakout by age, and it's quite clearly, and it's, male and female, but the majority of our followers are 65 plus, and so it's good to know that we are reaching a lot of seniors with our Facebook page. I didn't include, there was another page that breaks it out by town, because we do have attendance of at the COA of not just Carver residents, but Wareham, Middleborough, Plymouth, and even Plimpton definitely come. We've even had for Kingston, so pretty much all the adjacent towns have come to the COA for some of our activities, which is great, because I know a lot of Carver residents go to other COAs as well. I've attached the latest newsletter, and to give you pretty much, well, I'll do first a recap of May. We had the first appointments with legal assistance with attorney Robert Fennessy, who was the former TA here, and he's offering pro bono legal assistance by appointment at the COA to fully retired seniors for wills, durable power of attorney, and healthcare proxy document preparation. I had that was on Wednesday, May 8th, and it will always be on the second Wednesday of every month, and it is by appointment to call for that. We also had a Carver Cultural Council sponsored event for Healing Gardens workshop. That was very well attended, and it was just a little different offering for the Cultural Council. They support us in so many ways, and I want to thank them for that, from everything from musical performances to art workshops, and this was a particularly interesting one with specialty gardens, with gardens that you can plant for the purposes of just honestly a meditation, the types of plants that you plant for that, as well as a tea garden and others on that nature. The GATRA bus trips have been very popular. This past month was a shopping trip to the Wareham Crossing, which a lot of people are very familiar with, and the Greenbrier Nature Center, which is down in Sandwich. The Cultural Council also sponsored a musical program called Songs and Stories of the American Folk Revival with Lewis and Shea, which had a fun sort of 60s theme, so I kind of redecorated with a lot of tie-dye and a lot of fun kind of things with that. We had Allergies and Essential Oils that was presented by Chris Ventura, who is a representative of doTERRA essential oils, and it was very informative. A lot of people taking notes, and I think we have her visit regularly and update on different uses for the essential oils. And of course, we have yet to have the spring tea luncheon, but as I mentioned, we are at a full capacity with 49 registrations. So we're looking forward to that for tomorrow. The June newsletter that's attached, these are just some of the highlights. This coming Monday, we have chair yoga resuming with a new instructor. His name is Bill Selvitel. A lot of the current students are familiar and actually follow him. He has even an online exposure that he's done some online classes. So a lot of the seniors, he's also visited during our previous sessions, so he's very familiar with our group, and certainly new people are welcome. On the 4th, on the Tuesday, we have Meet the Author. She's a mystery writer who's fairly local, Debbie Graham Lurd, and she is going to come and talk about her newest book in her series, and she talks about the writing process, which is very interesting. She'll have all her books in her series that are available for purchase or autographing if anyone's interested. The nutrition program for the month of, whoops, I have it on the wrong date there, but it's actually June, not May 7th. A ricotta cheese toast with BID registered dietitian Marsha Richards, and she's come usually on a every other month basis, and she highlighted it at the last presentation that this could be a hands-on type of presentation where participants can actually prepare. She'll instruct, and we'll do it together, prepare your own recipes using the ricotta cheese in different ways, either sweet and savory options and that nature. And she talks about the health benefits of all the ingredients, which is great. And then you get to try them, and I think that's been the key that I've noticed, that, and she does this with every presentation, that sampling these foods is a real surprise to some seniors, and also the simplicity of some of it is like, I would actually make this at home, and that's the goal, is trying to get, people, you just don't talk about it. Tasting it is the one reason where it's like, I'm actually going to try this at home. So that has actually been very popular. Another Cultural Council program, musical journey through the years with singer Tommy Rull. That's coming up on Monday, June 10th, which should be a lot of fun. He does all the classics from Sinatra, Kenny Rogers, just the whole gambit of all the classic singers out there. And it seems like a lot of fun. Very nostalgic, I think. Nancy Franks, who has come and presented different programs. She did the molasses flood and most recently the Titanic presentation. She'll be coming for America's National Parks, which is sponsored by the Friends of Carver COA. So she'll be coming on Tuesday, June 11th at 1:30. The GATRA bus trips for the month of June are a trip to the Sandwich Glass Museum and the Derby Street Shops in Hingham. And that's always reserved through the dispatcher, Peggy Wood, for anyone that's interested in making those reservations. And space is limited on our bus, so definitely, if you're interested, you'd want to get a call in right away to Peggy. Heidi Miles, our outreach facilitator, has been scheduling meet and greets at the Carver Public Library, and so for June, she's going to have Friday the 14th at 10 a.m., and she's available there to just touch base if you want to find out what services are available, the help that she can provide, or just any information about the COA in general. What's convenient is she is very close to the senior housing, being at the Carver Public Library, so hopefully seniors will take advantage of that proximity, but it's also central to the town, which is great. The Friends of the Carver COA will be holding electronics recycling fundraiser on Saturday, June 29th from 9 to 1. It'll be in the Our Lady of Lourdes Church parking lot, which is right off of 58, right in the center of town. The Friends website, if you go on Carver, or Friends of Carver COA online, you'll see more information regarding pricing for any of the electronics that you might be looking to recycle for the benefit of the fundraising event that benefits the COA. Items are around, under $25 or $25 or under, that type of thing. It goes from everything from, computers to monitors to small devices, that type of things, that, again, it's a great way to clean house and then do it in a productive way, because most of those items cannot be disposed of in a regular landfill or something like that. The updates at the COA, we did have the new kitchen appliances. The range convection oven and warmer have been installed, and the electrical that was needed for the warmer was literally just completed today. So everything is up and running and good to go, and I know June and Michelle are really happy to have that option as we get into events that require having the meals on hand with the, when we do specialty luncheons, is to have the warming station is going to be a real key feature that she did not have previously. And we're looking into investigating the repaving and expanding and widening of the back driveway to the COA, which is in really rough shape. It's where our parking in general is not in great shape, but that may be because the level of traffic that it gets and the trucks and the heavy usage. It's very broken up. We fortunately don't have the public really entering on that, but our staff does, and some aspects of it, it's not in great shape. And if we're possible to widen it, there's a possibility, and that's the goal, is to be able to have staff parking in the back there, which would now open up spaces in our parking, especially now where we have the limited access with the loss of the field behind us, which was our overflow parking. So it would only be a few spaces, but I think it still would benefit and get the staff out of the parking for the seniors.
Anything's better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Every little bit helps.
How was the parking today for bingo?
I did make actually note of how far it went down. It wasn't down to the beach, but I also think that there might have been a bus trip that was going on, because I noticed it wasn't quite as many people as normal. But I have seen it stretch all the way pretty much almost down to the beach, which concerns me because it is an uphill walk, not only the distance, but it's also uphill for any senior that goes down there. But I still have the special passes, so if any senior that is attending the COA and is concerned about access to parking, I have the special stickers that will, if any beach access parking is needed, the sticker allows that for any of the seniors that have that need. So I have them in my office, and if anyone wants to reach out for that.
Yep.
And I think that was everything. Any questions?
Good. Anybody have any questions? I would just like to comment, make people aware that on Wednesday, June 19th, the COA will be closed for Juneteenth, the Juneteenth holiday.
Yes, which it's not as familiar to a lot of people, so I said
Right.
it's worth
why I wanted to make sure I mentioned it
Yeah, it's
here.
worth publicizing for sure.
So,
Yeah.
all right, thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, I am not going to go, we're going to forego the approval of the April 25th minutes, just because I don't have enough regular board members here. I don't have any new business or topics that I didn't anticipate 48 hours in ahead. Let me just go around, and besides come to the tea, remember the tea, anything else, Marion?
Not that I know.
No?
Just a quick question. Do you know if they're going to do any more on the pickleball area?
Nothing's been, in fact, I didn't even know about the turtle protection establishment is there. That wasn't an indication of the start of any construction. It was just required to prevent turtles from accessing that space before the construction. But no, go ahead. In fact, I'm not even sure if it's been, because it's not under my responsibility, it's recreation. I don't know the schedule, and the last I heard, it hadn't even been put out to bid yet.
So, you know what you're talking about, taking care of that area for the parking and stuff? Well, they're going to be probably paving in there, right? Maybe if we got together with the recreation board, we could maybe work.
There are many boards that are involved with it. You got conservation that gets tied up with that, and then operations and grounds gets tied up with that.
It's also CPA funding for that, so that's a whole different thing, so we wouldn't be able to really tag on to that.
Okay.
And I don't believe they're actually doing outright paving. I think they're doing, and I could be mistaken, but I thought for the parking area that they're designating, it would be that compressed, that sort of like
Stone
gravelly.
dust?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
stone dust.
Yeah, that has a, and I may not be accurate, and that don't quote me,
No, no.
but I felt like it wasn't a paved situation. Otherwise, it would be. But my hope is that we can separately, because that's so far off, I'm concerned about the current status of parking at the COA and trying to address something in a relatively quick manner. And it's a need that we've had for quite a while with the paving.
So, anything else?
Nope.
That being the case, and since our camera operator has another engagement that he could probably like a little extra time to get to use, I will take a motion to adjourn.
I second.
How about you first?
I'll first.
I'll second it.
Okay, further discussion? Remember, next meeting, June 27th. And that's it. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
That's it.